Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Today we are going to do the second topic in lesson number 8, and that would be verb subject agreement. So fail and file agreement, and we will also look into plural subject, which is when file is in plural form. So let's get started. We've already done idafa when it's a complex idafa, when there is a string of idafa where you have mudaf, mudafile, and then your mudafile is another mudaf to another mudafile, and your mudafile is then another mudaf to another mudafile. Then there was complex idafa, there was a mudafile with the noun and adjective situation. So that's what we learned in idafa, noun phrase as second term. So now we are going to look into verb subject agreement, as I've told, and when your subject can be plural, what happens? So basically, verb is followed by its subject, which is file. Verb, as you know, is fail. Let me just add it over here for you. So verb is fail, which is followed by its file. And we know that this file agrees in gender. So your verb will be feminine, your file will be feminine. Your verb is masculine, your subject would file would also be masculine. And it always has a singular. So sorry, not the file. The fail would always be singular. Let me just correct this. Yes. So sorry. So this should have been here. Basically, your verb and file should agree in gender. So this can be here or there, doesn't matter. But they should both agree in gender. And second point is that fail is always singular. Doesn't matter about file, it can be plural, but fail is supposed to be singular when it has an outside subject, when it has an outside file. Now, over here we have a few examples. So I'm going to just read a few of them. So istama'a, which means listened. He listened. Sorry. Yeah. Istama'a, he listened, which is, as you can see, masculine singular. And the outside file is at-talibu. The student listened. So istama is masculine and at-talibu is also masculine, but istama'a is singular, and it verb will always be singular like we have done. So the new student, at-talibul jadidu. So by the way, this is whole file, mawsoof sifa. The new student listened li muhadiratin to a lecture. Over here, if you see, we have istama'at basically. When you join it with the next word, it will have the helping vowel, which is istama'atit talibatul jadidatu li muhadiratin. So this is istama'at, which is feminine, and your outside file, your subject is also feminine. The new student listened to a lecture. So they will always agree in gender. Now let's see if you have your subject, your outside file is when not singular, it's plural. Istama'a. So this is masculine singular. At-tullabul jududu. So at-tullabu is plural form of students. Your outside subject is plural, but this does not have any effect on the verb which whose subject it is. Istama'a will remain singular. So istama'at tullabul jududu li muhadiratin. The new students listen to a lecture. Similarly, we have istama'at, feminine, faridatu wa vidadu. We have two files over here. Well, in fact, three files. They are all, we can see, they are all feminine. Li muhadiratin. So Farida, Vidad, and Hind listen to a lecture. They have to, there are three files, but they will agree. But you are sorry, fail. They agree with the fail in gender, istama'at, but istama'at will remain singular regardless of the fact that there are three files. Now over here we say, so this is how it goes. I mean, Raja al Ustad, the Asatizatu, which is teachers, professors, but Raja'a remains singular. So let's move forward. Now let's see, when you have two or more files listed basically, and they are, not the same gender, basically, you can say. Let's just write it over here. So here we see we have two or more subjects, but they are different in genders. So what happens then? First of all, your two two or more as many subjects do you have? They are connected with harf ataf, which is ba. We'll see the example, and they are again following the fail, so that rule remains there. Now let's also look at this that verb. Now, for example, you have one feminine file and one feminine file and one masculine file. The verb will take the gender of the first file, the first subject. And this is what we have shown in these examples. Raja'a. So now Salimun wa Vidadu. So Salim is masculine, Vidad is feminine. But Raja'a is masculine because Salim remains the first file. So Raja'a will take the gender of the first file. Remember the rule about matching the genders in file and fail? Similarly, raja'atil ustadatu wa talibuha. So, who returned? The female professor and her student, which looks like it's not feminine, talibu, which means his masculine, student. So now this is masculine and this is feminine. But since feminine file is closer to the fail, so raja'at basically it's feminine because the file which is closest is feminine. So raja'atil, again this is the helping vowel. It is basically raja'at, which is changed to raja'atil ustazatu wa talibuhu wa talibuha, sorry. Min al Muhadirati. The professor, female, and her student have returned from the lecture. So you see, the file which is closer to the fail will match with the gender of the fail. So this is a very important point that I wanted to highlight because this is something I learned very late in my studies. So thank you so much for um, listening to this. If there are any outstanding questions, you can always ask on the group, inshallah, and one of us will be able to help you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.